So, are you ready? I bet you are. I know I'm ready. We're going to do my favorite thing besides question and answer about myself right now. And it is, yep, if you said relationship advice, ooh, goodness, excuse me, you are right. Now, I'm looking up to see, I think this is relationship advice number 17. I could be right, I could be wrong, but give me 1 minute because I'm old, so I need an extra moment. Let's see here. Videos. I know y'all love these when I do them. And I know because you asked me some really great questions. Let's see here. It's been a while. Yep. Relationship advice 17. Okay. First, I want to do some little ones. These are good questions, but they're small questions. Like, dear bombshell, when you're on a date, especially a first date, is it okay to eat off the other person's plate? Well, to me, I think that's a little tacky. And unless you've been with them, a long time, and I don't mean knowing them a long time, maybe like by date 8, and you have that comfortable level, and they know that you like pineapple and you just give them part of your pineapple, or I just think it takes a while to get that comfortable. I don't think that eating off another person's plate is okay right off the bat, unless, I don't know, I guess sometimes if you have that, well, if you're scared as hell, on your first date, which most people are, then you don't eat off the other person's plate because you feel scared to death that you don't want to do something wrong. So if it's the first date, I advise against it. Another cute short question. I remembered it earlier, now I forgot, so we'll come back to it if I remember it. Let's get to these hard-hitting questions. Dear bombshell, I feel like lately I discussed the view of, well, when we first started, we discussed the view of our relationship, me and my husband, of 1 year. Now I feel like we don't have the same view after it's only been a year. We talked about what we wanted in a relationship and even discussed how life would change after our son arrived. Yes, I was expecting before we got married. And it was kind of, as well as you would say, a cast iron skillet forced us together. But, like, instead of having a shotgun wedding, a cast iron skillet forced wedding. Yes, I know. But we loved each other, otherwise I would have never married him. And vice versa. How can we reignite the flame again? Maybe it's not so much the flame that you're worried about reigniting. Maybe it's just time you need together. That's what I'm thinking. If you have more together time, then you'll be A-okay. Like, make a date night. One night the kid can go to your mom's or his mom's, and you go out and enjoy yourself. But one night a week, make a date night. So I've been dating this girl on and off. Now, right now, we're off. Been thinking about her. I heard that she's single. I know you would want to know why we are off. He's right, I would. It's because we're both stubborn and hard-headed people, but our last disagreement was over something stupid. I'm prepared to say that I was wrong because I miss her that much. Am I stupid to apologize and say, okay, whatever it takes, let's try again? Y'all know right now my view of love is very, I wouldn't advise it for anybody. I think that love does not exist. So, this particular guy, though, has dated this girl on and off for 3 years. And what bothers me about it is that it's like a switch, and he just thinks he can turn it on and off all the time. Well, you know what? If you're not constant, and if you're not careful, that time that it's off, she's going to be finding somebody who will never turn her switch off. So what you need to do is get your act together, get a cast iron skillet, hit your own self over the head with it, and then maybe you can commit to this poor woman. But as long as you're going back and forth, you're immature and you're playing games. I think that's stupid. So sometimes you're better with it left off so she can find somebody who does appreciate her. So there you go. Dear bombshell, I love this woman. I've been with her for 2 months, but she constantly is doubting me. It's because of her past history with men. I know there's a way to move forward, but how do I do it? Do I always have to continue that I'm innocent and she proves me guilty even when I'm not? When I've given her no reason to believe that I've cheated on her, on us, and on the relationship. Why am I having to pay for another man's sins? Help. Okay, it's a trust issue. And I'm going to tell you right now, as long as that woman has a trust issue, you will always, always have to prove yourself time and time again. Now, I know that you may not want to hear that. You may not want to register that up here. But you're going to have to get a cast iron skillet and hit your own self over the head with it. Because, let me tell you, sometimes it takes a man to constantly prove that all these other men have been full of crap. And that you are the stand beside me kind of guy, not the kind that walks in front of or behind her. And, you know, she may doubt you, but you got to give her absolutely no reason in the world. And you know what? You don't do it with gifts. You don't do it with words. You do it with actions. You do it with time and time again backing up your words with that, whatever you're saying you do. And that's most important than anything else. If you say, you know what, we're going out Saturday night, you don't stand that woman up and, you know, let her be standing there at the kitchen door wondering where you're at for an hour and a half while you're doing God knows what. So, you know, I'm very hard-headed on this. And if y'all want these relationships, they take work, okay? You can't just say one day, you know what, I'm going to be in this relationship and I'm committed. And then the next day you're out fooling around with Susie Q. And too often that happens in this world. Dear Bombshell, I watched your video where you say you don't like surprises and you're done arguing and fighting. I can so relate to you. You see, my boyfriend of 6 months, we fight and fuss so much that I'm beginning to question his love for me. Frankly, I know I shouldn't, but after we fight, he always buys me these quote-unquote surprise gifts. Sometimes even a weekend trip to somewhere. Then things go back to being fine for a while. I love him, I know he loves me, but my question is to you, how do I get him to stop fighting with me? Because I would enjoy the gifts more without the feud. My heart goes out to you. Now I'm going to tell you something. There's lots of reasons people buy gifts after a feud. Maybe they've seen their parents fight and fuss, and then afterwards their mom or dad would go out and buy a gift and then things would be fine again. Maybe they're emulating the same thing they saw growing up as a child. Think about that. It does sound to me like he loves you, but sometimes he's having to love you quote unquote too much in order to buy a gift afterwards. You see what I'm saying? Like he's feeling guilty for something. Not saying that he cheated, just seems like to me there's a bit of guilt going on with that gift. And maybe he feels better about himself getting you something after he's done the deed with somebody else. I hate to put that out there, but you got to look at all angles. So for your sake, I want you to look at the bigger picture and go, you know what? I get this. We're going to stop feuding. We're going to sit down like two mature adults and we're going to have a conversation between two mature adults. There will be no fighting, no cussing, no screaming, no matter how bad we want to scream, we're not going to do it. We're not going to yell. We're not even going to raise our voice. We're going to talk in a calm, cool, collected manner. We're going to get everything out on the table because it's not worth this big old fight. And, you know, the prize should not be a surprise weekend somewhere or a gift like a glass object. The surprise should be the love that you two share for one another. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, you can try and push him as hard away as you can and he sticks like glue. That's the kind of love that you two should have. I never did think of that last question that was asked, and I apologize. But I hope this all provides you with some good insight. And it was fun doing these questions. I always look forward to doing them. We waited a long time to do that one, I know. Stay tuned, because we're just getting started tonight. I'm off the weekend, and this is the weekend for the card shower. If you have not sent a card to my grandpa, what are you waiting for? Wayne, W-A-Y-N-E, McDowell, M-C-D-O-W-E-L-L, 901 South 15th Street, Mattoon, Illinois, M-A-T-T-O-O-N. Illinois, just put I-L, you're good. 61938. Get that card in the mail, and even if you wait till after the 23rd, send a belated birthday card. Cards are cards. So, see you soon, because I'll be back. You have nothing to worry about.